Hello, folks. It is the Christian Anarchist here. I just want to make this a little announcement. This is more of a shout out to a person by the name of Godless Engineer on YouTube.
Oh man, what? Oh jeez, this is like early, dude.
You're right, it's probably early for me to be making this, but at the same time,
Are you Jesus? Are you Jesus in the flesh? How did you know I was gonna be tired this early in the morning? What's up, heathens? How ya doing? Today we're going to be responding to this guy. His name's the Christian Anarchist. He's got a YouTube and a Twitter at least. So, if you want to go and check him out, please do. He managed to give me this shout out. I don't know if you could really call it that, but okay, a shout out. And so yeah, we got a big announcement at the end of this video, so please hang on in there.
I feel like why not? I mean, it's just going to be a simple, short message to Godless Engineer, who, if you're not familiar with him, he had a debate with Inspiring Philosophy a while back, in which he stated that, Jesus didn't exist, and whenever they debated just two things, not even from the Bible, to prove the existence of Jesus.
Well, true. A while back I did debate Inspiring Philosophy, and I had a really good time on that. We both did. And true, I was prepared for a debate on Bible reliability because that's what Inspiring Philosophy's videos were about. But him being a smart guy, as smart as either of us can be, I guess, he went to my channel, looked at my arguments, and decided to go with an argument for Jesus from an outside perspective. And which was really good on him. I mean, it was a really good debate. I wasn't prepared for that particular debate, but I stood my ground pretty well. This guy, though, I think he's going to be arguing from the biblical perspective. If you had seen the most recent non sequitur debate that he was on, you would know why I say that. But I digress. Oh, yeah. During that debate, we only debated Tacitus and Josephus. I mean, some other people's names were thrown in there and whatnot, and other people were discussed. But for the most part, it was Josephus and Tacitus. Well, mainly Tacitus. If I only could have heard more information about Tacitus, that would have been perfect for that debate.
What occurred was an hilarious bunch of claims without much evidence to support it.
Okay. Could you elaborate? Because I had a lot of evidence to support it. Mind you, my evidence was directly from the sources themselves and not using some kind of argument from authority. But then again, historicists rely on an argument from authority in order to prove their idea that Jesus actually existed in history.
From anything. Pretty much just assume things. And by the time I heard during the second half of the debate, since it ended up cutting it to because of some technical difficulties. And as soon as Godless Engineer went on saying that somehow Josephus's text sounds like a commercial for Jesus or Christianity, which he then proceeds to say that it talks about this Roman emperor, and then it goes into, and I kid you not, this is how he treated it, like saying, and then you have this passage that says, there once was a man named Jesus, and did a lot of great works by our stuff.
Yeah, I remember that particular section in it. Actually, what he's not talking about here is how I initially addressed it. Pilate, he is killing Jews because they're protesting him, right? And then in the passage after it, you have Josephus saying, and about this time, another, it's like another sad thing happened or something like that, referencing the passage before it. Because you just had this, you just had this great commercial for Jesus right there. How is that like a sad thing if that particular passage? Like I don't understand how that logically connects from one paragraph to another. But if you take out that passage, the thought flows seamlessly from one thought to the next thought without it having to be interrupted by that one. And the fact that the paragraph after references the paragraph before. So I mean, what I'm saying
is that I'm not trying to definitively prove that the Josephus passage was inserted or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the probability is higher that it was inserted by Eusebius because of the fact that he fabricated his own church history multiple times, by the fact that he's fabricated multiple things and that we know of. So with that compiled with the fact that you could conceivably write just like Josephus would have in the perfect redacted version, mind you, but that version you could write so that it sounds like Josephus, but yet it's still out of place in that particular section.
But you see, then inspiring philosophy just couldn't let it go, and he brought it up again. So instead of just repeating it in the same exact way that I had just said it before, I decided to take a different approach.
And basically what it boils down to is that you feel that it's more plausible that Josephus is correct and he wrote just a commercial for Jesus right in the middle of things that breaks up the flow of thought. You think that it's more plausible to do that than for Josephus to actually, flow, regardless of the patchwork of the actual events that he was talking about. The tone of both of those passages, it's somber tone with Pilate killing a bunch of Jews, and then hey, look, about this time there's a man named Jesus. He did a lot of great works. Buy our stuff, kind of thing. And then you have them talking about another sad calamity. There's there's very different tones in all three of those parts. So
I don't exactly understand why me singing the Testamonium Flavianum makes me immature, or makes the entire thing an immature act on my part. Like, I spent over an hour intelligently debating inspiring philosophy. Okay, the entire hour previous to that, I had been nothing but respectful, hadn't done any kind of singing, dancing, or stripping, or nothing. But apparently, this one instance of me singing the Testamonium Flavianum is just a little bit too much for the Christian Anarchist here. And as a special treat for the Christian Anarchist here, as well as you people watching, now there was this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man, for he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as receive the truth with pleasure. He drew over to him both many of the Jews and many of the Gentiles. He was the Christ, and when Pilate, at the suggestion of the principal men amongst us, had condemned him to the cross, those that loved him at the first did not forsake him, for he appeared to them alive again the third day, as the divine prophets had foretold these and 10,000 other wonderful things concerning him. And the tribe of Christians, so named from him, are not extinct to this day.
As soon as he did that, that was when he became what I've been hearing many people in the community then describe him as the Kent Hovind of Jesus mythicism.
Oh, now it's the bashing with the calling me of the Kent Hovinds. Not the Kent Hovinds! Not them, no! I have to say, the characterizing me as just some creationist, or just as bad as a creationist, just shows how you're only wanting to be inflammatory. Not really wanting to have any kind of discussion about it. You just want to be inflammatory against me. That's fine, but don't try to paint yourself as actually wanting to take a critical look at the question.
I kid you not. This is literally one of the worst argumentations I've ever seen in the entire world.
Is it really though?
about that. But
Okay,
yeah.
well, it's just going off of what you have in your videos. You were arguing for that idea, which actually Alice Wheely, she's a historical Christ person. She actually proved conclusively that that particular version, as well as another version that is commonly used, Michael the Syrian's versions, they were actually derived from an 8th century document from Theophilus of Edessa's Syriac Chronicle. That version was from the 5th century Syriac translation of Eusebius's work. So actually, all of those particular ones come from Eusebius's work. Where that particular passage actually first crops up was when Eusebius used it, and we do not see it being used before that point. For one thing, like Origen, who actually had the books of Josephus that Eusebius would have had, he doesn't mention them. He doesn't mention that particular passage, which if that passage was there in any kind of way, he would have definitely used it. But the first time that we see it being used, it's with Eusebius, and Eusebius is a pretty devious historian in the first place.
About this topic that defended Jesus mythicism. And the fact that this came from a popular YouTube atheist even lets it be a more downer for me.
Oh, fuck. I am so sorry I've let you down. Did you see the singing? Because I did the singing just for you.
I was expecting more. I was expecting maturity. I was expecting great debate ethic. But
again, 1 hour in, one instance of singing, and then the rest of that hour was fine. I don't see how I am now some immature Kent Hovind duplicate.
that didn't happen.
Well, no, it did happen. You just happened to not like me singing the Testamonium.
Instead, what we had was a childish and uninformed decision, even after this whole thing about the Josephus passage had been explained why it seems to break the flow of things.
I mean, I was pretty well informed the entire way. I mean, I was characterized as just reading off Rational Wiki, but even then I would still be informed in some capacity.
So I issued this. A challenge to Godless Engineer.
A challenge? Oh my god, I'm so happy to be challenged!
Let's have a debate, even if it has to be a rematch on the Non Sequitur show, and it just be me. I'll allow you to bring in the Bible, unlike what Inspiring Philosophy did, but at the same time allow us to also go back and look at Josephus, go back and look at Tacitus, because I think you may find this hard to believe, but I think I have some information on this that you would not know of.
Oh, I love new information. Have you seen my Today I Learned sections? I love learning new things.
And that if you were to be consistent, you would have to say half of what is in the works of Josephus is a forgery.
Ooh, I'm so fucking interested. Yes, please.
That half of the things ever written by Josephus in that text of history, including the Jewish wars, that those would be works of forgeries, concerning at least half of what's written in there. So, if you would, please message me on Twitter, or you can comment on this video, and let's get something set up. Because personally, I would like to give you a chance to redeem yourself then from the embarrassment you've already caused yourself in that one debate. So, will you accept the challenge and the offer to debate? That I leave up to you, Godless Engineer. But to everyone else watching, Shalom Aleichem, peace be upon you, because I wish that upon you. Have a good day.
Okay, so I accept his, debate offer. I will be on Thursday, April 26th, with this Christian apologist here, discussing the historicity of Jesus. So, if you will, please come by there. If you're interested in it, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys then. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.